Everyone to the Dr. Janine Show. So great that you were able to tune in. And yes, we have a fantastic show for you today. I'm super excited about what is going to be happening in today's show. We have a new fun sort of game happening. As you know, the Dr. Janine Show is super interactive, and this is going to be so much fun. Okay, what are we talking about today? We're talking about fake turmeric, what to be aware of, which is so important. We're also talking about detoxification of our entire body and making sure that we are detoxing and doing that full body detox and being very regular about that, as well as making sure that we are looking at some of the side effects of man-made blue light toxicity. Now that's something that, not everybody's talking about in terms of health, but some very important implications as to why it's so important that we are addressing our environment when we're talking about our health. And yes, as you know, often what I'm talking about is that leptin resistance. So remember, talking about getting that fat off the body, we are talking leptin resistance as well, okay? And you're gonna help me out a lot in this show because we will be playing that little game, okay? And something like charades is coming up, okay? We're also gonna be doing my full body lymphatic drainage, something that you have been asking about, not only for the beauty implications for this, but also to help to get that lymph going in our bodies. So we're gonna review that as well. Say hello. It's so great to have you all here. Brian, hello. Raquel, hello. Good afternoon. It's nice to see you. Thank you for tuning in today. Sarah, Fahad, thank you for tuning in. It's great to have you here. And if you're new here, I am Dr. Janine, naturopathic doctor. We do all things natural here, and I share a lot of tips into and as to how you can heal your body in mind, body, and spirit, and of course, doing it naturally. Please say hello. Hit that share button. Hello, Raina with the sunshine. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure that you're sharing today's live, everyone. Thank you for sharing. And for all my new followers, thank you so much for your follows and for hitting that subscribe button. Okay, now let's continue. Now, if you missed last week's show, we did review some of the aspects of signs and symptoms of parasites and having those parasites in our gut, as well as carpal tunnel syndrome. So I hope that if you've been suffering with wrist issues, that you've taken some of those tips to heart and you're using some of those tips. We also talked about cellulite last week, and we did that exercise for that puffiness around the eyes. Okay, so that was amazing. Now, remember that today's show is very interactive. We're going to have quiz questions. We're going to be playing for a prize. I'll get to that in just a second. But please say hello. Thank you for all those hearts coming in. I see that. Azib, hello. Thank you for tuning in. Raina, thank you for sharing today's live, and everybody else who's sharing right now. Tara, thanks for all the likes coming in, and thank you for the following as well. Great to have you here, I think maybe for the first time. Okay, you're in for a great show, everyone. Let's get started. Now, let's first talk about fake turmeric. So turmeric is all the rage, of course, and being powerful anti-inflammatory, great, of course, as well for the antioxidant effects, protecting our cellular metabolism, great for our liver health, great for gallbladder health. So there is a problem, though, potentially with different turmeric supplements. And this has been in the research, it's been in the news, that it can potentially be contaminated with lead. And it's called lead chromate. And this is a chemical that they're actually adding in to enhance the brightness and that bright yellow pigment in turmeric to make it look like it's very vibrant and a great quality turmeric. They're adding in that lead chromate. And this is happening in different parts of the world. Now, it is poisonous and it is a neurotoxin, which means if it is ingested or inhaled by humans, it can have some serious potential negative consequences. And there is some research that has been found in terms of the incidence of this happening mostly in South Asia, but the fact that there is evidence that that turmeric has been adulterated with that lead is a big issue. So of course, whenever you take any type of turmeric supplement, I just want you to be aware, I talk a lot about fake vitamins here. You have to be aware and make sure that it's a high quality turmeric. I like one with a curcumin, and make sure that it's been tested. So that means it's coming from a GMP manufacturer, making sure, of course, that it's been tested and it's gone through that due diligence to make sure that there aren't any heavy metal toxins in there, especially that lead. So you really have to trust in your supplement companies when you are purchasing any type of supplement. All right, now let's talk about some causes of toxicity. How do we get all of these toxins that build up in our system? We will also be coming back and talking about leptin resistance and how to fix leptin resistance, especially if you're trying to lose some weight and balance your hormones. This is going to be really important for you. Okay, So what are some of the main causes of toxicity? You can probably guess some of these. Of course, food. So here in North America, the SAD diet, the standard American diet, can and most times is very toxic. We talk about glyphosate on the show here. We also talk about, heavy metal toxins, pesticides, herbicides, GMO. Our food is not what it once was, okay? So that is a big culprit in terms of overall toxicity. Number 2 on my list is, of course, the water that we're drinking, especially tap water. Groundwater has a lot of contaminants, so we have to be aware of that. Number 3, household products. So when we look here, are you using things like this in your home? I've done videos on my natural alternatives to these things that you can make at home. I hope that you've seen that content. You can look it up if you haven't yet seen it. But are you using things like this? Do you drink from cans at home? Do you use regular antiperspirants? Are you using aluminum foil in your home? Do you use this in your dishwasher? These are all sources of those household product toxins, also contributing to our overall toxicity. Okay, as well as, excuse me, number 4 is the toxicity in the air, okay? So yeah, of course, environmental toxins here in North America. We had a lot of fires last summer, and it's something that we have to think about. What is being sprayed into the air, whether we know it or not, all right? Hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you are following it. So great to have you all here today. Thank you for tuning in. And this, exactly, why are they always messing up good things? I know, exactly. We have to ask ourselves. Okay, but the good news is that there's things that we can do to detox, and that information is coming up. EMFs. Oh, I dropped my phone over there. So yeah, if you've got your cell phone all the time, that is a source of electromagnetic radiation, which of course is compromising to your health. So if you're this person, it irks me. Anybody who takes a call and you put your cell phone actually up to your head, don't do that. Don't do that. I've got so many tips on how to reduce your EMF exposure. That's a big one, is of course your cell phones, your Wi-Fi, as well as, this is a big one, lack of natural sunlight exposure. This is something that we have to optimize and get enough natural sunlight exposure on our skin without sunscreen, without sunglasses. Really, really important. I've got a bunch of content on that. If you're new to that concept, yeah, I know it's new for a lot of people, but that's how we get so toxic, is that we don't have that sun to counteract what we're doing in our modern world. And number 7, artificial lights are a big problem because, of course, they're higher in that blue light spectrum, which is compromising to our leptin levels and our, of course, melatonin, our sleep, and so many different detox systems as well, because when do we mostly detoxify? During sleep. All right. Guess what time it is? It's quiz time, everyone. Okay, it's quiz question time. Now, we have a few quiz questions throughout the show, and this is what we do. We're going to put those questions up on the board, and you've got 30 seconds to answer that question. Okay, and we're playing for the turmeric today. Now, the turmeric from our great sponsors at VitaTree. This is something that, we are thanking them for sponsoring the show. And again, VitaTree, turmeric, curcumin. All right, is everybody ready? I hope so. I hope you're paying attention. All right, here we go. Even if you're just tuning in right now, I want you to try your best. You've got 30 seconds. Just put it in the comments. What do you think the answer is? Here we go. What toxic heavy metal can be found in some turmeric supplements? Okay, you got 30 seconds on the clock. Get your answers in now. All right, we got 20 seconds. Let's see. Oh, yes, I see a lot of people who are paying attention. Nice to see you all. Thank you for tuning in today. It's so great to have you here. Good job, everyone. Yes, great answers. 7 seconds left. Did we get your answers in quickly? Yes, yes. All right, I think we got it. Ronnie, good job. Kay and Leslie, Figueroa, Zerosi. Yes, good try, good try. I think everybody's got their answers in. Linda, Carmen, Leanne, thank you. Yes, of course, let's reveal. Of course, the answer is lead. So you got to be very aware if you are taking turmeric supplements that they could be contaminated with lead. And hey, if you're just tuning in now, you missed that content, it's okay. We have a few more quiz questions coming up, so you still have the opportunity to win a prize. I also mentioned our last time's winner, and that was Neetu. So congratulations to Neetu Mirage. Congratulations, you are the winner of the Vitamin Detox from last week's show. Congratulations. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And please, everyone, make sure that you are subscribed, you are following, so that if you are our lucky winner, that we can definitely reach out to you, okay? So now let's continue. And here's the fun part of the show today. We're going to play a bit of a game, okay? I'm going to try my best to act out, kind of like charade style, act out some of the answers that we're going to be putting up on the board, okay? So we're going to talk about some symptoms of toxicity. Now, this is going to be an indication of as to how good or probably how bad I am at acting these things out and how quick you are to know what some symptoms of toxicity are. And I'm talking about when your body has accumulated these overall toxins and you're just not feeling well because of that toxicity and maybe you haven't done a detox in a while, all right? And maybe you've got some of those other signs and symptoms of, other issues going on, but often that comes back down to a toxic issue in your internal organs. All right, so let's go. The first one, sign and symptom of toxicity. Okay, what's that one? How do we know that we're toxic? I hope I did a good job. I'm going to watch this tape later and probably laugh at myself. Okay, please tell me that. Yes, okay, we see it. I see it. Yes, of course. Cajun girl, Raina got it. Ronnie has the answer. Okay, I did a good job. Yes. Okay, so lack of energy, being tired and fatigued. All right, we got it. Okay, so that is a huge thing. So if you're tired all the time, fatigued, you're getting sleepy at the wrong times of day even because your circadian rhythms are messed up, that is a sign of toxicity. Okay, now the next one. Is everybody ready for this one? What's that one? Another sign of toxicity, which is super, super common. Anybody else have it? Okay, I'm waiting. I know, yes. Okay, Karen has got it. Good job. Sarah Lynn, Raina, of course, as well. Frozen's Matt, hello. Yes, and Nadia has it as well. Okay, everybody's got it. Of course, headaches. It's funny, as a kid, I never really played charades that much. Isn't that funny? So yeah, I have some people in the studio here that are like Melinda, my producer, who's much better at charades. She was giving me some tips earlier. Yeah, what I could do and what I couldn't do. But here we go. All right, number 3 on my list. This one's easy. What's another sign of toxicity? What's going on here? Anybody know? This is common, and I've talked about this in previous shows as well. Yeah, we got it again. But what is the actual symptom? Besides the itching, what is it? What's going on? Yes, yes. Okay, good, rashes. Yes, that's what I was looking for. So rashes, this could be, of course, eczema, psoriasis, eczema, okay, we have eczema came up. Awesome. Okay, good. Now let's continue. Hives as well would be, itchy skin would be a sign of that toxicity, leaky gut syndrome. Okay, number 4 on my list. Everybody, if you know your anatomy, you've heard me talk about this one before. What's another sign of toxicity? What would this be? Byron, thank you for the follow. Great to have you here. Thank you so much. What would this be? All right, I'm waiting. Yeah, there's a bit of a lag sometimes. Okay, we've got it. I see it. I see Melody. I see your answer, Goldie, as well. Good job, Trisha. Paulina. Cookie Monster is in the house. Yes, of course, thyroid issues. Okay, everybody's got it now. Thyroid issues, another symptom of having toxicity that's built up. Your thyroid is a big filter for toxins through your blood, okay? So that is an indicator, again, if you've got thyroid. That could be hyper, so it could be overactive, or underactive thyroid can be related back to that overall toxicity. Okay, let's go to number 5 on my list. Here we go. Let's bring out the poop platter. As we know, I always talk about poop. Well, most times I'm talking about poop. Okay, so if it's this kind of poop, what's happening? What is another sign of toxicity? What type of poop is that, everyone? You got it? I'm waiting. This thing's heavy. Come on. Let's see. Yes. Okay, now I see it. Yes. Awesome. Good job. Some platforms are faster than others today on the uptake of this one. Okay, here we go. So constipation. Oops. But it could also go the other way with diarrhea as well, of course. So did I do that? Yeah, okay, just making sure. All right, okay, number 6 on my list. If you've got this, I don't know if you can see me on the screen. Can you see me? Oh yeah. What's happening here? Another symptom of a sign of that toxicity that's built up. What's that? Yes, we got it. We got it. Okay, perfect. Yes, pains, joint pain. Everybody's got it now? Perfect. All right, so joint pains, those toxins build up. Yes, lack of hydration as well is a big part of this. And if you're just joining in, nice to see you. Make sure you hit that share button. Make sure you are subscribed and you're following. I'm Dr. Janine. We're going through all the symptoms of toxicity. We're playing a bit of a game here on the Dr. Janine Show. Okay, here we go. Number 7. Oh yeah, this one. What's this one? Ronnie, thank you for sharing today's session. It's great to have you all here today. What's this one? Oh yeah, Karen, yes, you got it. So cravings, usually for sweets. So everybody's got it. Sweets, cravings. A biggie for that overall toxicity. All those bad bugs in your gut, that candida, they absolutely love that sugar, okay? So in craving all the wrong foods, the sweets especially is a sign of that toxicity. All right, and number 8 on my list. This one's easy as well. What's this one? This is the big one that people don't realize, and that's why when you're wanting to, get rid of some of those toxins, one of the nice side effects is that this goes away a little bit as well, and sometimes a lot. Yes, okay, we've got it. Yep, we've got it. Yes, exactly. Being overweight, so your weight gain is definitely one of those symptoms. All right, thank you so much, everyone who helped with creating that list. Very, very commonly, these symptoms are addressed now when you do a full body detox. We're going to go through some of my tips on how to do that, all right? So thank you for tuning in today. I do want to call out my viewer spotlight for this week, and this is from Tracy Pace 3, and you said, thank you for all the great info. I feel healthier already. Thank you so much, Tracy. So great to have you as one of my followers, and thank you so much for sharing such good news. Continue to share all the love and all those great comments that you put on all of my different platforms. Love it, love it, love it. Fantastic to have you all here on one platform. Of course, if you tuned in a couple weeks ago, we hit a huge milestone, over 1 million followers. So thank you. You know who you are on that platform. Thank you so much. Amazing to have you. Now the show continues. Let's talk about, and we will be talking about how to do that full body lymphatic drainage and detox. That is coming up, but let's go through some of my detox tips. Okay, these are super simple things that you can start to do today to help with that full body detox. Okay, number 1, you're going to want to screenshot this list just as a little reminder for some of you, some things that you can easily implement daily to help with the drainage of those toxins from your internal organs. Okay, number 1, super simple, right? Drink more water. Most of us are not drinking enough water. So if you're dehydrated, not only does it affect the kidneys, but it's going to affect your lymph as well, and just the proper drainage from your internal organs. Okay, so drink more water, super easy. Number 2, eat local seasonal foods. So eating according to what is available where you live and what climate it is going to do a lot to help with your proper digestion, proper programming of that natural sunlight into your food, and your body's ability and your mitochondria to actually deal with what's going on with digestion. Your gut microbiome as well is programmed to be able to digest what grows locally around you in the season that it is. So that's really important. A lot of people are doing that wrong, of course, because we ship our food from all over the world and we have access to everything from all parts of the world, but in the wrong season at the wrong time and in the wrong place is not a good thing for digestion, okay? As well as our entire being as to how we function. Okay, number 3 is move and try to do some form of exercise movement, ideally outside, of course, under natural full spectrum light from the sun. Number 4 is getting more natural vitamin D. Of course, more natural sunlight exposure on your skin to up your vitamin D levels, but there's so many other benefits of getting more natural sunlight exposure, okay, on your skin, and of course in your eyes, so no sunglasses. Okay, number 5, what are we doing at nighttime? Of course, we are turning off the lights, artificial lights, and if we absolutely have to have them on, or if we're looking at a screen, we always have our blue light blocking glasses on. Super, super important for our circadian biology, as well as our detox mechanisms. They don't work. You can't secrete your melatonin from your pineal gland during sleep if you've lit up your brain and your skin and your eyes with blue light in the hours before bedtime when after the sun has set, okay? So this is really important. Block that blue light at night. That means covering up your skin as well, okay? Number 6 is herbal medicines. Now, some of my favorite ones. I'm going to list them for you here, which is amazing. And these are my favorites because they target the different organ systems, okay? Liver, lung cleansing. So here's my favorite list. Dandelion, the root and the leaves are amazing. So the root is actually really targeting your liver health and liver detox. Burdock cleanses your lungs as well as your blood, your lymphatics. Chlorella is a blue-green algae, helps to trap heavy metal toxins, which I love as well. Milk thistle helps you to regenerate healthy kidney and liver cells. And it's a liver detox, which is amazing. I want you to screenshot this list because this is really important. Horsetail, great for your kidney health. Parsley, also great for your kidneys. Cascara sagrada helps to gently get those bowels moving. So if you do have that constipation, one of those symptoms that we talked about, and those little round hard poops, you got to get things moving. This is part of your full body detox, okay? As well as the bearberry, which is great for your kidney health, great for your hair, your skin, your nails as well. It's called uva ursi. So these are my favorite herbal medicines. I actually take these in combination all together in one supplement to do my regular full body detox. And I do that 4 times a year, which is what I do recommend. Not, only for people that are actually suffering with something and toxicity and you've got the headaches or whatever, you've got a symptom, but just as a proactive and preventative thing that you're doing 4 times a year to get that toxic load, remember, from all of those toxins that we went through that list in our environment, in our food, and our water, just to stay a step ahead of that toxicity. So that's really important. Thank you for all the love here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hey, if you're new here for the first time, thank you, ADHD Assist, for following. It's great to have you here. And I think my team is going to help to answer some of the questions. I know people are asking about products, so we'll put those answers in the comments. And make sure you tune in tomorrow because I can go through a little bit more specifics as to how we do that full body detox. Okay, now another thing that we can do is that, again, detox foot bath. So we're going to come back over here really quickly. And that is a recipe that I can share. We've done it in a previous show. I think we can pop it up really quickly. So you can actually bring and pull those toxins out through the feet as well, which is amazing. So you're going to mix in a bottle of, and here's some hints for people who are looking for something that I was talking about, okay, in terms of the herbal medicines, the Vita Detox, all right, and 1/3 cup of sea salt. You're going to make that mixture, and then you're going to take 1/4 cup of that mixture and put it into, with 1/2 cup of apple cider vinegar, into a big basin that you can soak your feet in with 10 cups of hot water, as hot as you can stand it. And you're going to sit there for at least 45 minutes, okay? And that will help to draw those toxins out through your feet. It is remarkable. This is a great way to detox kids as well. And it's something that I do with my children, especially when they were younger, and I didn't necessarily want to always give them something by mouth in terms of full body detox. Great way. And for people that are easing their way into detox, and you've got some concerns sometimes about doing it, internally and taking it, this is a great way to start by doing the foot detox bath and really draw those toxins out through the feet, which is amazing. Remember, all your organs are mapped on your feet, which is important to note that, those connections can be made and that you're helping to detox in that way. Okay, number 8 on my list was release those toxic emotions. Okay, so let's go through the list of those toxic emotions really quickly. Fear, grief, despair, jealousy, anger, blame. When you're lower on the scale of that emotional guidance scale, you're not doing so great, okay? And your emotions absolutely do affect what's happening with your internal organs. And we know in traditional Chinese medicine, our organs are mapped to our internal emotions that are happening as well. For instance, the liver is related to anger, okay? The kidneys are related to fear, like way, way down. So, chronic kidney issues could be a deep-seated fear, something that you never got over. And that's why we have to make those connections in terms of getting healthier from the inside out. And this is something that most doctors are not going to talk about this, but it's something that I talk about because it's so important. If so many people are missing the boat in terms of their overall general actual curing of certain conditions because they're missing this big aspect of that mind-body connection. And that's what we talk about here at the Dr. Janine Show. So great to have you all here today. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for all of the new followers that are here. It's so great to have you here. Okay, now we are at quiz question number 2 time. Is everybody ready? Now I hope you're paying attention. And what we're playing for today is the turmeric from our great friends at VitaTree Nutritionals. Whole Food Vitamins, the sponsor of our show. We couldn't be here without them every week, so thank you, thank you, thank you. And are we ready? Okay, quiz question number 2. You're going to have 30 seconds on the clock. Once you see that question come up, let's see. What does it say? And get your comments in. Of course, your answers in. Now, man-made EMF exposure, something that we talked about, is a cause of toxicity in humans. Okay, that's a true or false. Everyone get your answers in now. Looking forward to seeing those answers. All right, everybody getting your answers in. We've got about 10 seconds left now. Okay. All right. Happy to see that we're getting those answers in. Ernestina, thank you for participating today. Roel, Sharon as well. Great to have you here. Hillbilly Stacker, hello. Philip is here as well. Aid, Goldie, Amber, Music Addict, hello. Ahmed, nice to see you. FTH, our Moon, Ignore Ramirez, thank you. E. Monroe, Millie, Linda, I'm trying to get so many. Okay, Cheryl, Sharon, Hello Kitty is here as well. Nay529, nice to see you. Becky, Courtney, Para, thank you for sharing today's live. So great to have you, and so many new people here as well. So all my new followers, thank you so much for tuning in and for sharing today's live and all the love and the hearts and all that stuff coming in, the donations. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so yes, let's reveal, of course, true is the answer. So man-made EMFs, we know that this is one of the most compromising things to our health right here. Okay, and of course we all use them, but how can we limit our risks? That's something that we've talked about in previous shows. Maybe we'll review that list again next week. I think it's important that we revisit that about EMFs. We'll talk about that in next week's show. Okay, now let's talk about a little bit about, here, can't go anywhere without Mr. Fat. Okay, leptin resistance. So for people that are trying and struggling to lose weight, and you just can't get that fat off, all right? That could be the perimenopausal, the menopausal weight, the hormonal weight gain that happens. It could be, even though you've tried everything, your cortisol levels might be, and your stress levels are off the charts, you can't target that weight effectively. This is what we're talking about, fixing your leptin resistance. And if you don't know what that leptin is all about, leptin is something, it's a hormone that's given off by your fat cells, okay? And it's going to give proper or improper signaling to your brain as to your state of affairs. How much body fat that you actually have to survive is just one of those things. That brain is always taking in information, and it will act accordingly, either upping your metabolism, upping your hunger, or slowing that down. When you have, ideally, when this system is working optimally, when you've got enough body fat, what it's doing is, of course, it's sending that signal to the brain, yeah, we're good, we have enough body fat, we're surviving, we don't need to be extra hungry, we don't need to go out and seek extra food. But that signaling gets messed up. And we do things in our daily life that messes up that signaling. And I'm going to give you the tips now how to make this signaling better. And to fix that leptin resistance is something that is super important in terms of balancing your hormones, helping to get that weight off, helping with energy levels, your sleep, your stress. Let's go through the tips, okay? Number 1 is eating that high protein breakfast. If you don't like to eat breakfast, you have to change this about yourself, especially if you're trying to lose weight, especially if you've got some of these issues with chronic inflammation and you've got a lot of issues happening with your hormones being out of balance. Maybe you've got a specific disease or autoimmune issue that's happening. You have to fix that leptin signaling, okay? So eating that high protein breakfast is very important, as well as blocking blue lights. Remember, your leptin signaling is going to be messed up. Can I give this to you? And when we don't have our proper light signals into our brain, and that happens via our eyes and our skin, okay? So blocking blue light, especially at nighttime, is going to be important, but those EMFs as well. Remember, I said that the cell phone is one of the most compromising things to your health, your devices, your Wi-Fi. You've got to limit those risks, and we will go through some of those things next week. How do we mitigate our risks against those EMFs? Okay, number 3, follow Mother Nature's prescription. So that's more sunlight, okay? Being outside is Mother Nature's prescription. Taking your shoes off once in a while. Always, being in rubber sole shoes, not the greatest thing in terms of being able to bring up that connection, that magnetism, those electrons from the earth. That's what grounding is all about, and that is part of Mother Nature's prescription, okay? So take those shoes off, get outside on a beach, onto the grass, onto the soil, onto some rocks, and get grounded. Really important. Now, as well as And I do, okay, so for natural sunlight exposure, what I do have coming up is we're going to review really quickly. I'm going to share my sunscreen, so natural sunscreen recipe. I'm going to show you that really quickly as well, because people say, okay, I don't want to burn out in the sun, and I still want to be outside, so I'm going to share that recipe with you. Okay, that's coming up. Okay, cut out your sugars, especially fructose, so drinking fruit juice, not the best thing. In terms of your liver health, in spiking your blood glucose levels, this will first, usually it's the leptin resistance that happens first before you get the insulin resistance. So finding the balance here is going to be really important with your blood glucose levels. So just try to cut out the sugars as much as you can. Processed sugars especially are the worst. Okay, number 5 is fast, but you're not going to be fasting your breakfast. Remember, you're having that high protein big breakfast. You're not going to be fasting your breakfast. If you're going to fast, you're going to be fasting your dinner, okay, is going to be much more important for you. As well as, do we have more on my list? I think so, yes. Okay, number 6 is try not to snack. Snacking is going to mess up your proper circadian biology for your gut microbiome as well as your leptin signaling, so try not to snack. All right, so 2 to 3 good-sized meals per day at regular intervals, at regular times for your circadian biology is really important as well. And of course, no food 3 to 4 hours before you retire for the night, before bedtime. This is really important, especially if you're trying to lose that weight. You have to go to bed on a somewhat empty stomach, and that's so that your leptin signaling is going to be optimized, but also your melatonin secretion is optimized for sleep coming out of your brain, out of your pineal gland, and so that you have that good night's sleep, because that's when you are actually oxidizing, mobilizing most of your fat happens through your breath when you're sleeping, okay? If you're trying to lose weight, that little hint alone is gonna make such a difference for you. Okay, number 8, consume your EGCGs. So please tell me, where do we get EGCGs from? I know somebody knows this answer, so please put it in the comments really quickly before we move on. All right, here we go. Day 1, you can't sleep with a growling tummy. Yes, your tummy and once your leptin signaling gets better, you won't be hungry at night. It is a remarkable thing that changes. Yes, Nora, great answer. That was really fast. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Rachel has the answer as well. A music addict, of course, EGCG, and Sharon has it. All of my platforms, of course, got the answer. EGCG, yes, comes from green tea, actually helps with your leptin signaling. So isn't that interesting? So I actually take a supplement that has EGCG. It's just one of my little tricks, hints. It's a natural fat burner. Love it, love it, love it. But also, of course, consuming actual green tea is great. Okay, number 9 on my list is get a good night's sleep. Yes, that is super important. That's when your highest peak of your leptin secretion from, of course, is going to happen, and that proper leptin signaling is when you're sleeping, okay? And of course, your melatonin secretion as well is important. And number 10, of course, is getting cold. So allowing your body to get cold once in a while is going to actually increases that proper connection of the leptin to the leptin receptor. Getting cold, it optimizes your mitochondrial health as well, which is so important in terms of the whole context of leptin signaling. Okay, I hope you got that list. And then I'm going to review my sunscreen recipe with you really quickly, because I know that came up, and I want to make sure that you've got that. Sharon, thank you for the follow, and thanks for all my new followers. So please hit that follow button. Hey, if you're new here, you want more content like what I'm sharing, we do different topics every single week that I'm here, and that we do go live on the Dr. Janine Show. And it's so nice to meet so many of you that are here for the first time. It's so great to have you all here. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, this is my natural sunscreen recipe, and we do have my final quiz question for today's show is coming up as well. All right, so let's take a quick look at this again. So when you're going to be outside and exposed to the sun for, longer periods of time, you can't get into the shade or you can't cover up after you've had enough sun, this is something that I love to use, okay? So it has zinc oxide, which is something you can purchase. It's a powder. Make sure it's non-nano. It's something that you purchase online. Carrot seed oil from the health food store, raspberry seed oil, shea butter, coconut oil, and jojoba oil. And then if you look at the SPFs of just these ingredients on their own, they do have some natural SPF on their own, and of course all natural. Now you're going to mix those into a mixing bowl. I use a little whisk and melt it down. Depending on how cold it is and the temperature, the shea butter can be a little bit solid, so you may need to you can do it on a double boiler if you really need to. I've never had to do that, but just mix that all together, and then it comes into this great consistency. And I do want to show you really quickly. And then you're going to put it ideally into a glass jar. Okay, but I traveled recently, so I took it out of my glass jar. I have like these mini little mason jars. I took it out of there and just put it into plastic just for travel purposes. But I just want to show you, because some people would think that, you know, because it's white because of the zinc, that it would have and cast that sort of white hue. But I'm going to show you that it mixes in beautifully and you don't perceive that it's there once it's on the skin. Okay, it's a game changer, I'm telling you, for your life. And I actually use it now as my base in the mornings to have my sunscreen on my face during the day. All right, so there you go. And it, of course, is a physical block, so there isn't any of those compromising carcinogenic ingredients, which of course was all in the news going back probably a year and a half ago when that all came out in terms of the toxicity of sunscreen and what those toxic ingredients, and something that we have covered in the show here as well, okay? So there you go. I hope you screenshotted that. We can come back to it if you really need to see it again. I do want to say thank you to my super fans, so thank you to all of you who love and support this show. I couldn't do it without you. Love you so much. And you guys are the best. The donations that come in, you know, throughout the week, but also, of course, when I'm live here. So I appreciate all of you. You're very generous. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I couldn't be here without you. Okay, now let's talk really quickly about some of those side effects of that man-made blue light. And I am also going to show you my full body lymphatic drainage routine. That's coming up in just a second. Okay, so what does blue light do to us? And I'm talking about artificial lights that we've got. They don't have to look blue. Any artificial light, and if it's an energy efficient LED light, they're higher in the blue spectrum, okay? And it's sky blue. So this is an interview that I did most recently with Dr. Maura Eid. That sky blue is that wavelength, that 480 nanometers, which is very damaging to our circadian biology and can mess up our hormones. Okay, so what are the side effects of this? Well, number one, it raises our blood glucose levels. And this isn't just me saying this. There's some good, solid evidence. There's one study that came out in the Lancet that found that maintaining a dark environment during the night may mitigate the risk of developing type 2 diabetes, okay? So they've made that link between light at night, artificial light at night, and diabetes, okay? And raising your blood glucose levels and your insulin levels, okay? So that is really important, especially when we're talking about circadian biology. Number two, causes that weight gain again. So this is something that's simple. Just turn on, if you're trying to lose weight, just after the sun has set, just mimic a natural environment, just look outside. If it's dark outside, turn off your lights, okay? And if you need to have a bit of lighting on in the home, have them lower to the ground. Red lights are better. Have your blue light blocking glasses on, cover your skin. But when it's dark, it should be dark, okay? And the more that you start to mimic the actual natural environment where you live, and of course that's gonna differ based on the latitude that you're living at, this is gonna make all the difference for you. Okay, number three, fixing that leptin resistance, something that we talked about, and it's something that we've talked about a lot. So I've got different posts and tips how to fix that leptin resistance, but this is something that's really important. You've got to fix this because this is another side effect of having too much blue light toxicity. Number four, poor sleep. Yeah, when you light up your life, when it's supposed to be dark, guess what? You can't secrete your melatonin properly, and that will affect your sleep. And this gets worse over time. And here's the most scary one, which is number five, cancers. All right, so in this more recent study, I want to show you this, okay? Scary stuff is happening, and I'm going to circle this for you so that artificial light at night, which is also known as ALAN, okay, so if you see that in the literature, if you're a nerd like I am and you read a lot of papers and studies and things, artificial light at night is significantly correlated for all forms of cancer, all forms of cancer, okay? I really want to highlight this, as well as lung, breast, colorectal, and prostate cancers individually, okay? So this is something that we have to limit. And it says, immediate measures should be taken to limit artificial light at night in the main cities around the world and also inside our homes. Big, okay, this is big. This is why I want you to share this show, because somebody needs to hear this out there. And that's why I share what I do, because maybe you've had cancer. Maybe you know somebody who has cancer. Maybe you want to prevent cancer. This is a big one. As much as we talk about food and exercise and water and toxins and all those things, this is huge, okay? Artificial light at night. Very, very, very bad for our health, all right? Did I get that point across? I hope that you've got that. All right, Maya, thank you for tuning in today. It's so great to have you all here. Okay, so let's go over here. Let's talk a little bit about lymphatic drainage and doing the 10-step routine. This is something that I've shared in a post before, and I want to just review the lymphatic system really quickly. So, of course, the main area is in our abdomen. So you'll appreciate parts of the 10-step protocol here is going to address this, especially with our breathing. And of course, this has to do with our circulation as well. And in order to drain that lymph, we have to address all the areas of the body. All the lymph is going to come to our midsection where it's dealt with here. And our diaphragm, which helps with our breathing, of course, is what helps to flush out that lymph. Okay, so let's go through the steps. Is everybody ready? Now, if you have the ability to stand up right now, I actually want you to do this with me. So put your device down that you're watching on so that you can see me. I'll give you a couple of seconds so that you can actually set it up if it's your, your laptop, your whatever, your phone, put it down if you can prop it up somehow so you can still see me, and do this at the same time because your brain will remember better if you actually do it with me, but you can always revisit the show as well as to see the steps. Okay, is everybody ready? Okay, step number 1, you're doing a little jumping. Okay, you can do jumping jacks, whatever you want, a little jumping. You gotta get that lymph moving. It doesn't move on its own. Like our blood, you gotta get jumping, okay? And I often do this first thing in the morning when I wake up. I go into the bathroom in front of the mirror and I just do my little jumping to get that lymph going, okay? Everybody did their jumping? Yes? Okay. Now, next, number 2 is you're gonna go over your collarbones, your clavicles. And I just go back and forth with my fingers above and below the collarbones. Yes, I see everybody's joining in. All right, you can also just do little circles here, get that lymph going. All right, now number 3 is under your ears and down your neck. So you just kind of clasp your hands behind your ears and go nicely like this down your neck to get that lymph going. We've got big lymph chains. I don't know if we can come back to the diagram really quickly again. Big lymph chains that are draining your head and neck, of course, are here, and we've got to drain that area. Okay, so behind the ears is number 3. Number 4 is armpits. So you just kind of massage in your armpits down, always towards the midline of your body, okay? Always towards your midsection. And next on the list is your belly. So you just do little circles around, around. Always try to go clockwise, around and around, all right? And number 6 is the groin area, okay? So there's major lymph chains right here. So you're just kind of do a little shimmy shake in that area in your upper thighs, okay? Next is behind your knees, okay? So you're gonna go behind your knees, and even if you're applying your lotion on your legs or your oils or whatever you're doing, always go up. So from the lower part of your leg in your calf region, always apply and drain the lymph up. And use enough pressure that you can actually sort of feel it. Just don't be too light with it. You just want to go up towards, always up again towards the heart, towards your midsection. And of course, number 8 is the ankles. So similar type of thing, just using your fingers behind your ankles to drain up towards your heart and your midsection. And number 9, do some deep breathing. So this is where your diaphragm is going to help to move that lymph. Everybody take a few deep breaths in and out. Hello, Rebecca in Washington State. I hope you're doing the deep breathing. And Missy, yes, dry brushing can definitely help with this as well. And of course, number 10, we end with jumping again. Woohoo! All right, we got this. All right, everybody's jumping. Everybody's doing the happy dance. Okay, thank you for everybody who's tuning in today. Jessica, thanks for the follow. You tuned into a great show today. Of course, all shows are great. And of course, we do this every Tuesday, usually at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We had a bit of a storm here, so we had to delay today's show. But it's great that you were able to tune in today. And thank you for hanging around and tuning in today. Okay, so that is the technique, and we will revisit it again tomorrow. So remember, on Wednesdays, I have my Q&A at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So tomorrow at 1 p.m. and we have the ability to ask questions based on today's show, so please tune in then. All right, guess what time it is? It's quiz question number 3 time, and this is where you have the ability to win a prize. Thank you for all my new subscribers. Hit that subscribe button and make sure you are following to get a ton more content like what I'm sharing in today's live show. If you're new to my world and you haven't yet seen all of my posts, I have thousands and thousands of videos now that you can check and actually search, and in those platforms, just put in whatever you want to learn about in my name, and you will find most times a video. And if I don't have a video on something that you want to learn more about, make sure you put it in the comments so that I always know what you want more information about. All right, it's quiz question number 3 time. Is everybody ready? This is a true or false question. We are playing for the turmeric curcumin from our great friends and our sponsor at Vitatree Nutritionals Whole Food Vitamins. Okay, are we ready? Here we go. True or false? You should snack more often to fix your leptin levels. Okay, let's see who is paying. That's a true or false. We've got 30 seconds on the clock. Good luck, everyone. most people probably are doing this, right? Sharon, I love the enthusiasm. Ernestina. Oh, okay. Everybody got your answers in? I think so. Yes? All right, let's reveal. Of course, it's false. No, try not to snack between meals, okay? Try to be more regulated with your 2 to 3 meals per day. Again, if you are going to fast, you're fasting your dinner. Don't fast your breakfast. You want to eat that high protein breakfast. Just as a little review for fixing your leptin signaling and to really help with that weight loss. Hey, if you're just tuning in right now, that's what we talked about today. We talked about leptin signaling. We talked about full body detox. We talked a little bit about weight loss and how when you fix your leptin resistance and your insulin resistance, you can get that weight off, and some tips that we shared there. We also talked about fake turmeric and potential contamination of turmeric. And you have to be really careful with turmeric supplements that they are potentially contaminated with lead if you're just tuning in right now. We also talked about how to do that full body lymphatic drainage. We jumped around today, jump around. Yeah, everybody knows that song. Some of you are too young to know that song, probably. And of course, we did my sunscreen recipe today as well. I showed you that. So I hope that you got all of that and you were able to screenshot that as well. It is posted on my different social media platforms. So yeah, it was what a great show. It's so great to have you all here. Thank you, Melody. I'm so glad that you follow. Thank you for tuning in today. It's good that you were able to catch the show. Of course, we do this every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And please tune in tomorrow at 1 p.m. because we will be doing the Q&A. I'll review the recipes and everything that we talked about today. So tomorrow at 1 p.m., which is always on Wednesdays, is, of course, the Q&A. Yes, tomorrow. Yeah. Okay, now what we will be talking about in next week's show is we will circle back. Okay, there it is. So there we go. Yes, 1 p.m. tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time. Now we will circle back to that EMF exposure. We'll also talk about urinary tract infections in my next show next week on Tuesday as well. And was there a question coming in? Oh, the mini trampoline is fantastic for that lymphatic drainage. Yes, please. So whoever asked that question, brilliant. Absolutely. That mini trampoline is something that is fabulous for lymphatic drainage. It's the jumping, right? Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It was so great to have you all here. Make sure you tune in tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for all my new followers. Thank you for hitting that share button. Check out all my other content. And we'll see you tomorrow. All right. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.